This is the MetroY Ultra, Revopoint's latest professional-grade 3D scanner. According to the specs, it's capable of up to a 0.015mm single-frame accuracy, putting it firmly into the professional reverse engineering, inspection, and metrology space. On paper, the specs look promising, so we'll see how it performs. I'll also verify its accuracy using the included carbon ball plate and see how closely it matches these claimed figures. Before looking at what's included, here's a preview of what the MetroY Ultra produced during testing. Over the last few weeks, I've scanned everything from an aluminium intake, a gearbox, to black plastic parts and detailed figures. And some of these results were better than I expected. Everything arrives protected in a nice sturdy carry case. Inside you'll find the 3D scanner, a calibration board, calibration and accuracy certificates, along with the user manual and reflective markers. There's a small cleaning cloth, a metal tripod, a battery grip, a mobile phone holder, and the USB cable. You also get the main data cable and a power supply for the scanner. The kit includes a powered dual-axis turntable with its own power supply. And there's also a small figurine for test scanning. So the main difference between the CMM edition and the standard edition is the carbon fibre ball plate. This is used for on-site accuracy verification. This edition also includes a 1-year license for Revo Measure, which we'll take a closer look at later. So for the setup, there's essentially 3 different ways to use the MetroY Ultra. For maximum performance, it's best to use it wired, connected directly to a PC, using the supplied USB-C cable and power supply. For wireless scanning, attach the battery grip and connect over Wi-Fi while monitoring the scan from your computer. Or if you need the most freedom to move around, attach the phone holder and use Revopoint Mirror for an easier mobile workflow when you're further away from the PC. The scanner also comes with Revo Metro, which is Revopoint's free scanning software. Complete a quick calibration and you're ready to start scanning. For the first test scan, I wanted something reasonably challenging, so I chose this cast aluminium intake manifold. It has reflective surfaces, deep ports, and a complex geometry, making it a good test both for tracking and detailed capture. For this item, I selected the marker tracking mode, cross laser, and metallic shiny object. Then you can start scanning either from the software or use the button on the back of the scanner to start and pause the scan. As soon as the scan starts, you can see how fast the data is captured. Considering this is raw aluminium and not having any markers on the actual object, I was expecting the tracking to be a bit more challenging. However, it stayed locked on through the entire scan. Frame rates stayed around 90, which made it easy to move around the part without losing tracking. One thing I really like is the ability to switch laser modes during a scan. When I reach the deeper holes, I switch to the single line mode, which helps capture areas that otherwise would be difficult to reach. You can also switch modes using the buttons on the back of the scanner. Each side of the manifold took around 3 minutes to scan, followed by a few minutes for the processing. Then some cleanup of the fused data with the selection tools. So when you've got the fused data ready, the next step is to merge the scans. There was plenty of overlap between the scans, so with a few clicks in the software, it automatically aligned and merged everything nicely. If the scans don't merge correctly, there's also manual merging, where you can select points and align the scans. Looking over the finished scan, I was impressed by how clean the lettering came out and how much detail was captured. All the edges look sharp, and even the detail was retained in the casting marks. This was a very good first result. So a 3D scan can look great on screen, but accuracy is what really matters. Are the dimensions correct? Are the surfaces flat? And are round objects actually round? So for a quick test, it was time to check out Revo Measure. Over in the software, I measured some features using the tools. While it's not the perfect method, to quickly check the results, I measured the same feature on the actual part using digital calipers. The physical measurement came in at 35.10mm. Divide that by 2 and we have the radius of 17.55. Back over in Revo Measure, the same feature measured 17.554mm. That's only a 0.004mm difference for the radius. I expected it to be close, but I didn't expect it to be quite that close. The comparison was a good real-world check, but I also wanted a controlled way to verify the scanner's accuracy. And that's exactly what the included ball plate is designed for. The ball plate allows you to verify the scanner's accuracy on-site whenever required. Like any precision measuring equipment, temperature can affect results. For the most accurate scan results, you always want to keep the scanner temperature within tolerance of plus or minus 3 degrees of the calibration temps. The Metro software displays this, so it's easy to keep an eye on. The ball plate measurement process is straightforward. Select the ball plate measurement icon, scan the markers, then with that done, scan the spheres. The software automatically processes the data and compares the measurements against the certified reference values found on the side of the ball plate box. The result was a deviation of only 0.003mm. That's consistent with the measurements I saw on the intake manifold. So overall, this looks good for smaller parts and short distances, but I'd still be interested to see how it performs across much larger parts, especially for large-scale work. But these initial results are very encouraging. What I also found interesting is the calibration documents show test information. The scanner was measured against the ball plate 20 times with an average deviation of 0.006mm, which aligns closely with my own test results. Alright, back to scanning. So I use this same metal pipe in nearly every scanner review. It's not especially difficult to scan, but because every scanner sees the same object, it gives me a consistent benchmark for comparison. I'm using the laser mode, and as expected, the MetroY Ultra produced another clean result with sharp lettering, crisp edges, and good surface detail. What I was most interested in was comparing it with my current favourite scanner, the Pop 4. Here's a side-by-side. On the left we have the scans from the Pop 4, and on the right the MetroY Ultra. Both scanners performed well with similar scanning speeds and processing times, but the MetroY has captured a slightly finer surface detail and sharper edges. The difference isn't huge on screen, but it's noticeable upon closer inspection. So far, the metal parts scanned really well, but black surfaces are where 3D scanners start to struggle because matte black surfaces absorb projected light, while glossy plastics introduce additional reflections. So next, I wanted to see how the MetroY Ultra handled this bike saddle. I'm using the laser mode with markers placed around and on the object. The top side scanned quickly and clean, but I expected the glossy plastic underneath to cause some issues. However, it scanned quite well without needing any scanning spray. The metal rails would have benefited from a few additional passes from different angles, but overall the geometry of the actual seat came out very clean. This was another good result and shows the scanner performs well on darker materials. While I normally prefer using a manual turntable for most scanning, the MetroY Ultra kit includes the powered dual-axis turntable. Unlike a standard turntable, it can rotate and tilt automatically by up to 30 degrees. helping expose additional angles during scanning. On the side, you'll find there's a couple of manual control buttons if you want to set up a certain angle or rotation direction. But what's good is once it's connected over Bluetooth, the software takes over and controls both the rotation and tilt angle automatically. So for this test, I decided to scan the included small figurine. I did find the process is slower than scanning manually, but because everything is automated, the result is more consistent and requires less user input. The results were very consistent, and I think using the automatic turntable would be useful for scanning small precision parts. Up until now, I've been relying mostly on the laser mode. So the next question was whether structured light offered any real advantage. Unlike laser scanning, this mode can track directly from the object's geometry, meaning markers aren't required on feature-rich parts. For this scan, I switched to the wireless mode with the battery pack because I needed to move further away from the computer. Looking back now, that may have not been the best choice for performance, as the frame rates dropped to around 8 frames per second. However, it was still usable with slower movements. A wired connection would have increased this to around 15 frames a second. The tracking actually wasn't the problem here. The main challenge was the reflective surface inside the gearbox, but after applying a light coat of scanning spray, the capture quality improved immediately. The final process scan captured the internal geometry, mounting points, and the details very well. Personally, I still think the laser modes will be my primary workflow because it's faster and more versatile for what I need. However, structured light definitely has its place when marker-free scanning is preferred. So once you have a 3D scan complete, models can be exported into virtually every major mesh format, including STL, OBJ, PLY, 3MF, and several others. I mainly use STLs, and this makes it easy to integrate the scans into CAD software for any reverse engineering and product design projects I'm working on. Compared to cheaper 3D scanners, I did notice the MetroY scans are cleaner, more accurate, and easier to work with in CAD, which helps speed up the design process. Now, for inspection work, as briefly seen in earlier tests, the CMM edition comes with Revo Measure. This software allows scan-to-CAD file comparison for deviation analysis, feature measurements, tolerance checking, and we can also generate and export PDF inspection reports. I found it's a handy piece of software, especially if you need to measure 3D scans or check parts. Just remember, the license for this piece of software included with the CMM edition is only valid for 1 year. After spending some time testing the MetroY Ultra across a range of parts, I think it delivers what it's designed to do. It combines multiple scanning modes, accurate measurement capabilities, wireless operation, and on-site verification into a single portable system. The software is straightforward to use, setup is quick, and throughout testing, I achieved clean scans across aluminium, plastics, mechanical components, and small objects. So going back to the question from the start of the video, does the MetroY live up to its accuracy claims? Based on the testing I've done, I'd say it does. The MetroY Ultra is a very capable scanner and one that performed very well throughout my testing. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you'd like to learn more, I'll leave links in the description. And as always, thanks for watching.